Greetings, universe. It's me, back for another exciting week. I'm in Arcata, California now. Nice town. Pretty cool place. I've been here ever since I got back from not back to school camp. I guess I'm in somebody's way. Who knew? I've been parked blocking somebody's driveway for the last day. My bad. Jeez. My car's been parked in this spot for the last 12 hours, and I didn't realize I was blocking somebody. Anyways, yeah, not back to school camp was great. Really inspiring and exciting being around all these people. It was beautiful place in the woods. Lots of unschooled teens, just really unique, creative, passionate people. I kind of got a feel for that idea that, like a lot of these kids, struggle with being isolated or feeling like they're separated from society in a way because they left the school system. This is like a place for them to come together. So it was really, really motivating for the work that I do with the Peer Unschooling Network to be around a bunch of kids that could really benefit from having a digital community that kind of connects them and helps them support each other. And one of the things that I wasn't aware of is like they do a lot of like these ceremonies, I guess is a good word for it, which are kind of like bonding events. One of them is actually called Bonding Night that helps the teens connect better. And, there's a lot of emotions and sharing and hugging and stuff, which I think when I was that age, I might have been turned off by, but now as an adult, I look at it and say like, we need a lot more of that in the world. And we certainly need more rite of passage for teens. Like, what do they get, like walking across the stage at high school graduation? Like, that's kind of a sort of a meaningless rite of passage ceremony these days. Whereas I feel like at this camp they really did things to kind of help people transition through life, because these are people that have rejected the traditional society, and so they need to build their own rituals and ceremonies and rites of passage to kind of replace the old ones. I mean, you can't just go without them, so I thought it was great. People were great, food was great, the staff, everything was amazing. And like I said, it was really inspiring. And I did get, I got along really well with other kids. I even did some stand-up comedy. It was the first time I got to perform stand-up comedy for a group of teens, which was very motivating to my idea of wanting to put together a tour where I can perform specifically for teens. I'm not exactly sure the details, if it'll be at a library or teen centers or Sudbury schools or what, but next year that's the plan, is to do, next time I do a tour across the country, to plan out and do gigs for schools or for students, teens, whatever, teenagers. I don't know what other acts I'll perform with. I thought I'd find other comics or something, or other teens that do comedy, but then when I was at the camp, I just got really inspired by it. They do talent shows at these things, and it's really inspiring to see these young people with like talents pouring their heart out into their work. There was one particular musician that I thought might be a good fit to match up with my comedy, because it doesn't need to be other comics. If the theme is more related to like teen liberation, then maybe having other acts that aren't comedy would be cool. So maybe not just comedy, but music. There was a person at camp who had written their own children's book, and I walked in and there was all the teens sitting on the carpet and the floor, and they were sitting there reading the children's book to them, and it was really cool. And the book was all about their path to becoming an unschooler, and I was like, that would be perfect in a show, So I don't know what's going to come of it, but I'm kind of inspired there. Good stuff going on with the Unschooling Network. I finally fixed the bug, I guess, that's bugging, was causing issues with iPhones and iPads last night. So that is resolved. I feel like I can take a little bit of a break from writing code on that and now like focus more of my energies on marketing it. I even started a vlog this week for my feelings about education. So I kind of dove in. It's just me persuading my younger self to quit school is basically the idea of it. These videos that I'm making here for this mental health thing, they aren't really being released till God knows when. I talked to my doctor this week about reducing my medication further, and she felt that she didn't want to reduce it further because in the next month I'm going to be traveling through time zones. I'm driving back to the East Coast, and I tend to have issues a lot revolve around sleep and time zone changes when I have my psychiatric, mental health blow-ups. So she felt, hey, if we're going to do this, let's do it right so that we don't fuck it up. Why don't we wait till you get back to the East Coast and then reduce it further? So this sucks, you know. It's been 2 months since I reduced it at all. I'd like to be off these fucking things, you know. We're like almost to the year mark. Like, I just didn't think it was going to take this long. But it's progress, you know, and I don't feel comfortable. Like, I hate that I am trying to, like, be, like, anti. I hate that I'm on psychiatric meds, yet I'm openly critical of them because I feel like a hypocrite. Kind of like the way I'm, you know, I try to motivate people to be unschoolers, yet I went to school. I feel like a hypocrite. Like, I just have this, like, imposter syndrome that I can't seem to kick. So, yeah. What else? Oh, shit. My mom is flying out today to California, and we're going to drive cross-country together. So that's fucking cool. I did that with my dad like 4 years ago. We drove across the country. So now I'll do it with my mom. It's pretty cool. I'm still hoping to go to Ireland in the fall, though it's a little iffy. Oh, shitty news. So yeah, I won that lawsuit in June. And then last week, the company that owes me now like about $500,000 per the lawsuit, it's like $300,000, I think. They just lost a large lawsuit that they were the person suing somebody. And because they lost and they spent all their money on the lawsuit, it looks like they may be like nearly out of business. And if they are out of business, then they won't have the money to pay me what they owe me. So after all this, even after winning the lawsuit, I still may not get paid out of that whole thing because they're possibly going to go out of business just before they can pay me. So there's that. So a lot of stuff. I feel pretty good energized-wise. You know, I stayed at this hostel, which is really nice this week. It's a little more expensive than I would have liked. You know, I'm spending like $45 a night. I try to keep it much lower, but I think I get more work done and it's more comfortable than like camp. You know, a campsite I might pay $15, but I'm like driving into coffee shops all the time. Like bouncing around coffee shop to coffee shop is not the most ideal. I don't get as much work done because I don't have like the freedom to take a break and go do something. It's just not as great. So this has been all right. Yeah. Not sure what else to come next. Oh, interesting conversation I had with this girl that was at my Oregon Country Fair fucked up comedy show performance that was in the audience that I talked to. We connected through like Twitter or something, and she's got an interesting story, mental health wise, to share, and so it's kind of nice to connect with somebody else who's young. She's like 32, trying to get involved in mental health activism, just as I am, trying to figure out like, what do we do? How do we do it? So it's good stuff. All right.